equivalent of mic cord. No, it's not. It's mic cord. Hello? What? Not.
Okay, there we go. It sounds very tinny.
Got it on both. Alright, if nobody touches a wire, we are... Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the NYCH Against Medical Mandates New York Freedom Rally. Bravest for choice, strongest for choice, teachers for choice, finest for choice, children's defense event. Woo! Nice, tough to get all those out. So our first setup here is our drummer, Nkumu Katali from Kinshasa, Congo. Speech is going to come from somebody very important in this movement. Age stands. Pediatric nurse, manager, and public health professional with more than 10 years of experience in maternal and child health.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming out. As John said, my name is Age, and I stand here before you not because I think wearing garbage bags are fashionable, but I want to share a little bit with you about what's been going on. NYC gave many of us garbage bags to wear as PPE. We were forced to go into a patient's room wearing a garbage bag as our protective equipment. And not only did we wear a garbage bag as protective equipment, we were given an N95 mask. And you would think, great, an N95 mask will protect us from COVID, right? But no, we were also given a brown paper bag. So every patient's room we went into, one by one, COVID patients, we would take that same precious N95 mask, put it into a brown paper bag and store it safely inside of a locker. The next day. This sounds like a huge infection control issue. Shame on you, OSHA. So I stand here before you because I have a couple of emotions to share with you. I want to go through the timeline of what I've been experiencing throughout this whole pandemic. I started off this pandemic feeling hopeful because I thought that we could manage this. I thought that because I dealt with patients on contact precaution, droplet precaution, airborne precaution, that we would be okay. But as I continued on through the pandemic and I saw people dying and I saw people that I loved getting sick and those co-workers of mine who I worked with getting COVID, getting vaccinated, it just blew my mind and overwhelmed me. And the next emotion I felt was exhaustion. Exhaustion because I was forced to continue going to work over and over every day, expected to do managerial duties while also still seeing the same amount of patients I'd seen as just a staff nurse or more. And these duties were overwhelming. No support from my institution. No support from New York City. Every day I went in thinking, where we were left to just spend for ourselves. This emotion that I felt, exhaustion. The next thing I felt was my beliefs. I was told that if I didn't, I would have to watch closely, and my performance review was coming up. Fear is what I felt. Fear because I thought I could lose my job. Fear because I thought I could lose my livelihood. The next thing I felt was anger, because I'm not the kind of person that stays in fear when it's mixed with intimidation and coercion. Anger towards my system that has failed me. But God told me, no, this isn't where I want you to stay. There's another place to go. You have a better place, and I've called you to higher things. But before I could even process what God was saying, the pain hit me, because my grandmother, 97 years old, was fighting this virus. She got helped them throughout the pandemic, but we are not called to stay in any one of those emotions. We are called to action. So I want to encourage you each today to step up to the calling that you have been given, to stand for freedom in this country, because this isn't the end of it. If we comply, we're going to go down. Our liberties, our justices are going to go down. So please, the reason I can stand here and speak to you today is because of your courage to stand against this. Continue to stand firm. If you're afraid, that's okay. Fight in fear.
No. There's a lot of powers trying to stop the truth from coming out. We are the firewall. Our next speaker, Michael Cain, founder of Teachers for Choice, a national grassroots organization with the Children's Health Defense. Come on down, Michael Cain.
What's up, New York City? This first protest, we won't make it. I know it's speaking out. My name's Michael Cain, founder of Teachers for Choice. It's a pleasure to be here. Today, I have some good news to share with everybody. So, I am suing Mayor de Blasio in a case called Cain versus de Blasio. Fans here, huh? Me neither. So, we have an allied case called Kiel vs. NYC. They have an amazing law firm working with them on Park Avenue in the Second Circuit Court. And the Second Circuit is one step away from the Supreme Court. And these judges, there was one Bill Clinton nominee and two Carter nominees. So these people have been around for a bit. All liberal justices, but these people actually care about whether or not they're overturned in the future. They care about making the correct call. And what we know as of right now, because I've been speaking to the attorneys, the Department of Education has already conceded that they have to reinstate the 15 named plaintiffs in our case to our jobs at the DOE. Because their religious exemption process was unconstitutional. However, the battle has only just begun. They are not going to let us back into our buildings. They won't let us back into our school buildings. They will still say, I'm pretty sure, that we are a clear and present danger to the school community because we are unvaccinated. Meanwhile, fully vaccinated schools are closed now in New York City due to COVID outbreaks. Riddle me that. So, make it make sense, right? Please, someone make it make sense. So, what's important though is we opened the door to justice. The door has been opened to justice on November 10th. And once you open the door to justice, the path to justice might be long, but it is a path that we are going to succeed on, for sure. Yes? So, I know many people here disagree with the religious exemption process. Many people here say we should just be able to say no. There should be no exemptions. I understand it. I feel exemption to vaccination along with it. That gives us 60 years of case law argued in the federal courts. The courts don't really appear ready to say no mandate, but the religious exemption, there is some hope. So I encourage you, if it aligns with your faith, apply for a religious exemption to vaccination. And understand this, no one has to co-sign your beliefs. No church, no building, no man, no human, no one. That is between you, your God, your Maker, your higher power. Period. The courts have been clear on this. The belief of the individual is supreme in America. So them telling me I'm a heretic because I won't listen to the Pope, because the Dalai Lama is vaccinated, that's weakness. I don't talk to those men. I don't fellowship with those men. I don't look for advice from those men. God bless them if they want to get vaccinated. Good for you and good luck. That's fantastic. That has nothing to do with me. So I bring that little message of hope today. Please check us out at teachersforchoice.org for more information. I also want you to know the union that I formerly came from was the United Federation of Teachers, New York City Teachers Union. I have left that union. I hate that union. They are not a union. They are an arm of the biosecurity state. That's what they are. FDNY's union is standing with them. They're protecting them. God bless them. And if your union stands with you, you stand with them. But our union, the teachers' union, is not. So on this Monday at 6:30, we're hosting a Zoom call to learn how to leave the union, if they coerce you into getting this shot, how to get your money back if you've already left the union, and about a new organization we plan on forming in New York City to rival the UFC. So please check that out at teachersforchoice.org. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is a little bit of my experience. When COVID hit, we had the lockdowns, and everyone was scared, and everything went fully remote in New York City. And we were all scared. It was a tough time. When the doors opened again in September of 2020, I was there. Every day when they allowed me to work, I worked. Every time they needed an extra person to be teaching in person, or monitoring tests, or helping the kids, I was there. I was there with no vaccine. I was there taking the precautions they told me to take. Meanwhile, 40% of my colleagues were fully remote, applied for accommodations, and even after they got vaccinated, they did not return to the school. That was the choice that they made. I made the choice to be there. I was a hero. I was serving. I was helping them. Now I'm on unpaid leave because I won't go against my beliefs, because I won't be coerced, because I won't be intimidated by the fear of de Blasio, who's gone in a few months. Hallelujah to that. Thank you so much, everybody. Stick with your convictions. Stick with what you believe. Don't take any BS from anyone. God bless you all, New York City. The real New York City right here. God bless you.
Unions, am I right? 1199, my old union texted me today. We won that contract. You know what they failed to do? They could have shut New York City down on October 1st and changed this for everybody. And you know what they did? They made a deal that would give everyone still employed on November 1st a bonus, because they knew everyone else was getting fired. That's the deal they made. They are guarding. And one more thing about schools being closed that are fully vaccinated. Funny, so is the psychiatric unit at my own hospital. It's got COVID again. Our next speaker, John Gilmore, who's been an advocate for 20 years working on issues related to autism, developmental disabilities, and vaccine treatment and rights. He is the founder and executive director of Children's Health Defense New York and the Autism Action Network, a national 501c4. John is also the founder and board member of New York Alliance for Vaccination Rights. Come on, man.
Good afternoon, everybody. All kinds of things are up. We're up, right? And we're up in more ways than one. You know, I've been at this, I've been involved in action rights, as John said, for 20 years. And I have never been more convinced, folks, that we will win. There's just no doing these events rapidly, okay? Because basically, folks, what we are dealing with here is a form of organized crime. Pfizer's here, I think, is the leading corporate criminal in American history. I think they have paid more fines, penalties, and settlements in the many, many, many billions of dollars than any other entity combined. And Merck and some of the others aren't too far away. Johnson & Johnson in the last year, okay, while they've been hailed as the saviors with their COVID shot, they have paid over $1 billion in penalties and fines just in the last year, and no one's paying attention. And maybe I'm naive, but I just don't think the American people will stand for that and be fooled by that for much longer. I just don't see it. Because here in New York, folks, we're in the belly of the beast. This is the belly of the beast. Here in California, D.C., this is where it is worse. If you get out of New York, there are whole swaths of the country, Florida, Texas, other states that are completely out of this. They're just saying up front, we do not believe the CDC, we do not believe the FDA. We're going to go our own way. Now, when you have Pfizer with buckets of money in New York, it's kind of hard to get away from that, so we're in a bit of a tough situation. But this is a long fight, and I feel really, really badly for the folks here who have lost their jobs for sticking to their convictions the way that Michael King just so eloquently expressed it. Thank you for doing that. You are heroes. I know you got to pay your mortgage and all the other things that are pressing on you, But folks, this is just the first round. This is like the world champion boxing. That's 15 rounds. We're just in the first round, okay? The first round, they landed some punches on us pretty well, right? But I have no doubt that things are starting to change, right? Michael just told you about the decision that came through for the religious exemptions for the teachers, right? If they're going to give it to 15 teachers with absolutely no legal reason why they can't give everybody else. And they know that. Right? And it doesn't stop here, folks. There was a court, we got all kinds of battles going on. Battles here in the streets, we got battles in the courts, pretty soon we're going to talk about, we got battles in the legislature we have been into. But the battles in the courts are starting to turn all the way. Turned our way with King de Blasio. Federal District Court in D.C. told the president that, no, I'm sorry, you're going to force every private employer to do their enforcement. It's not going to happen. And that's the lowest level. We had a couple of decisions in last week that are huge from the Fifth Circuit District Court, the appellate court. Right? That's right below the Supreme Court. And they were taking a look at Biden's plan to make all private employers force their people to get shots, right? And I got confirmation, I get the quote right, but the judges came back and said that Biden's 400-plus page plan of an OSHA regulation forced people to get this shot, which after claiming for almost a year that there's no way the federal government can do this. Anyway, the court said it was staggeringly overkill. Staggeringly. Right? They said the mandate fails almost completely to address what we respond to much of reality and common sense. Okay? It can't get a whole lot worse than that, right? And the next stop for that one is the Supreme Court. So there's some things going on. Our numbers are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, so Courts are important, folks, but that's all for the lawyers. What do ordinary folks like us do, right? Well, we can come to rallies, we can do marches, all that is incredibly important because it makes us visible, it gives other people to agree with us and encourage them. These guys aren't warning that they're being watched and people aren't going to stand for it. But the next thing we're going to have to do here, folks, in New York, is we got to get involved in legislation. All right? Albany, the legislature is coming back the first week of January, and there's already been, I'm sure you're all aware of it, that will require all students in the state of New York to get the shot. They already have a bill to do that for the college students, right? And Kathy Hochul, our wonderful unelected governor, has said this is going to be her top priority. Now, she's dead set against religious exemptions. However, Captain Vogel said, I'm not making this up, that her vaccine policy for the state of New York came to her as a revelation from God. You know? I'm not making it up. Right? That's what anyway, folks, we gotta fight these bills, right? That means you gotta get engage with your elected officials. They matter. They matter and you matter because they need their votes. Right? And folks, I don't want to divide people. I'm not partisan. But the truth is that in New York, not a single Republican in Albany backs the mandates. Not one. I've talked to every single one of them. I've talked to their staff. That is not the problem. Right? The problem is with the Democrats. Right? How many guys are Democrats? I'm still a Democrat. I'm still waiting for the change, right? But whatever. And we're Democratic elected officials, and they got to hear from us, and we got to lean on them, and we got to lean on them hard. And one thing I've been calling offices for weeks now, and all the Democrats, they don't want to stay where they're standing. They're afraid. Right? That tells you something, right? So we got to engage in that. These are things we pay attention to, right? January 3rd. No, I'm sorry, got that wrong. That was last year. January 6th. Okay? The legislature comes back. Okay? When they came back last year, there were thousands of us to greet them, right? Because they're trying to still fight for religious exemption, right? This year, there's got to be tens of thousands of us up there in Albany. Okay? So you got a couple months now, folks, or 7 weeks. Figure out some way to get to Albany. We're going to be having buses, then carpool, whatever. But we need thousands and thousands of people there, right? And that's just going to be the beginning. A couple other things are going on. There's going to be a worldwide day of freedom. Freedom. Remember that? Freedom. That's going to be up in Central Park West down in Columbus Circle, right? Now I'm going to give you a little inside information, folks. Just a couple of days ago, the chair of the Health Committee of the Assembly of New York, a guy by the name of Richard Godfrey, he is a very powerful guy when it comes to health policy and vaccine mandates up there in Albany. For years, he was our go-to guy. He had bills in place to religious exemption, to medical exemption, and then a couple of years ago, the power boys got thrown out right? Now, this weekend, I'm sure you're all going to be up there on Central Park West, right? Guess, write this down, folks. Guess who lives at 91 Central Park West? Richard Godfrey. So, next weekend, while we're doing all the other stuff we're going to be up there, I think we all need to stop by and say hello to Richard Godfrey there at 91 Central Park West, right? So be there for that. What else have we got? That's probably enough, right? I just got my time sheet. All right. So folks, let's go to chamber. We're gonna win. We are 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 gonna win. Thank you very much.
We are going to win. I don't understand. hospital, that's me. My name's John Batman, sorry. Some of you know me as We the People of the News, or other people know me as the guy that started the Sons and Daughters of Liberty, which is what we are, because we're saying no, and that's a non-negotiable. So, let's talk about healthcare real quick. At 21, I went into the healthcare field, fresh out of school, and served 15 years doing CAT scans. Went through the swine flu, all the big-time flu seasons, you need to re-wear your mask, if you get COVID, you're going to drop dead. And then we found out the truth about COVID, and for some reason all my coworkers never woke up, and I'm like, wait, why am I in the twilight zone right now? So, came along the necessity for vaccination. And everybody was like, well, we gotta get it now. But that's the problem. So many people think when somebody dictates something to you and says something to you, you just gotta do it. And I said, no. And everyone's like, yeah, you say no now, but wait until they come for your job. And I said, they can have it. And everybody said, John, you think you're this big badass. You're saying that they can have it. And I'm like, I'm just gonna have to show you that I am a big badass. So, I started before it actually began. I said, hey, everybody, do your part. And so many people were scared. And I said, but the end result is you're going to lose your job. So what are you scared about? At this point, you have the freedom to do anything because we've reached rock bottom. So I assembled my coworkers. I had a couple of hundred through the north and south side. Then it went through the city. Then it went through the country. And we had about 1,200 workers, all sharing ideas, talking about lawsuits. And slowly we learned religious exemptions don't work out, lawsuits don't work out. The only thing that works out is only your lie. And you know what? Being resourceful. Do not think that what you've done your whole life is all you can do. I just designed a flag with my wife. I'm designing shirts. I'm reporting the news. I am becoming resourceful, and shit, I am more busy than I've ever been in my entire life. And I never thought there would be a day that I would be standing in front of a garbage truck on Staten Island, blocking it with a flag that I am now producing, and having the SRG team of the police, or whatever it's called, the strategic response group, zip tying me up like I was Christmas lights, and put me in the back of the paddy wagon. And you know what? Every one of them said, thank you for doing this. And I keep saying that. These cops across the street eventually are going to be like, I am not taking another booster. Eventually that's going to happen. And you know why? Because what we know, congestive heart failure, what we know, myocarditis, pericarditis, stroke, or the ads for the children. Children have strokes too. You know how many stroke codes I've done on a child in my entire career? 0. 0. And now Big Bird seems to be the one that's going to be bringing them up on the stroke code. Something's wrong. Injection in the elbow. Elbow non-compliancy. No. I am done with the propaganda. The only propaganda that I'm not done with is the one that wakes everybody up from the nightmare that they chronically live. So, all I'm going to say is this healthcare field has been decimated for years. We were running short before running short. I talk to my coworkers now. I just told you half the site units closed. Everyone's got COVID. They don't want anyone to know. I have whistleblowers coming out from the other side's facilities showing them wasting PPE, throwing away equipment, calling it contaminated, when they have a war room, floor to ceiling full of gear, and they're just destroying things. It needs to be investigated. I can't make the call. I just brought the information forward. But you know what? The media is not picking it up. And why? It doesn't fit the narrative. So when I say that we the people are the news, I mean the garbage truck. I told them I will not Epstein myself. Make it public knowledge. Give me your tape. This tag because I have to repost it. I will not Epstein myself. When you come from light, I can walk through darkness, I can walk through the flames, flipping the bird. I'm not complying. I bow to no man, and we the people will win. Thank you. Now I have to introduce the next. All right, our next speaker, Donna. Nurse Donna is from Long Island. She is a Christian, a wife, a mother of 3 amazing young adults. She has been practicing in maternal child hospital-based healthcare, primarily in ICU, for 30 years. Which is amazing, because I thought she was about 25.
And I'm just happy to see you every time I come out. So it's well worth every launch from this today I really want to focus on our collective care. We're creating our communities, and with that we have inalienable rights. And that is what has helped the United States of America to see on the health rate of fallen asleep and they don't see the truth anymore. And God's word speaks of that happening, and it's our job to light the way. We have to continue lighting the way. So why am I wearing a garbage bag today? Right? You know, it's symbolic in 2 ways. And the girls who from NYU who put this rally together, I thought it was a brilliant idea because there were many people at the peak of the pandemic who had to wear garbage bags instead of real PPE. And as John just said, he dropped some really bombshell information this past week. There were very large health institutions burning PPE, disposing of brand new PPE at the peak of the pandemic. Why? Why did they need to short everybody and make everybody panic? Why was that the source of the news? Because they want everybody in fear, right? And so this garbage bag not only represents what a lot of healthcare workers went through last year when they showed up every day fearing for their safety, their life, working in improper conditions with substandard materials and protection, and risked it anyway and showed up extra every day to protect their communities, to serve like we always have. And what else does this symbolize? It also symbolizes how we're being tossed out like garbage, all of us. And I want to ask every human being on the planet, is there one who is just so easily discarded? Is there one among us who you can just kick to the curb and say, you're worthless, you're trash? I don't think so. And if there is a human being who believes that, well, show your face, please. Come show your face, because by not standing alongside your brothers and sisters for their choice and their rights to choose what goes in their body, to give them a right to work and support their families and put bread on the table and a roof over their heads, you're saying that they're garbage or ostracizing them, you're stigmatizing them. And I'm just going to say that you might be okay with this mandate, but what about the next one? You think this is where they're stopping? This isn't where they're stopping. They will keep going until there is nothing left of you, until there is nothing left of us except what they say is okay. So it's time. The time is now, not yesterday, not tomorrow. Now. Now is the time to act. So I want to leave you with some encouraging news because there was a lot of good things happening. For healthcare, as we were the first industry impacted, there were 2 TROs and injunctions that were awarded in New York State, and then Hochul appealed them, and the Second Circuit Court agreed with her, so they were overturned. But Thomas More Society is taking that to SCOTUS. So it's not over, people, and I want you all to pray and keep standing and holding the line because we're not done yet. And we're not going to be done, even if that court decision doesn't go
until it is finished. That's right. And so the last thing I want to tell you is we are building a coalition in New York, the People's Coalition of New York. And that is immense amounts of organizations of all sizes from all over the state. It's not just New York City, it's not just Long Island, it's not just Westchester or Western New York or upstate, it's all of us. And we are going to spread that across the country. California's got it going on, New York's got it going on, and we're just going to keep branching out until... We're just going to keep going until we go from sea to shining sea. And so I want you just to remember that hope is not lost, God still sits on the throne. We are... Thank you.
Feedback is awful. Okay, let's settle down. You're not on the list. So I've been told. I don't know what that means. Why are we not unified? Okay. I don't even want to talk about white supremacy. We are united. This is an event. I've gone to events that I didn't speak at. Who's not united? Who's separate? You're still not answering my question. We have. This has been scheduled for quite some time. Okay. Now, moving along. After I so rudely interrupted. We have Josephine Generoso. I hope I said that right, Josephine. Because you're the manager of Rocco's Pastry Shop located in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. And if you don't know Rocco's, I don't know if you've had a thing to share.
Hello, everybody. All right, well, I did a little research before I came up here, I guess about an hour ago. I didn't realize there are 8,700 approximately restaurants in New York City. There are about 2,500 bars, approximately 2,700 gyms. I thought when I put that sign up on my window that said that I would not discriminate based on a vaccine, that every restaurant, every gym, every bar, every event space would join with me. Guess what? None of them did. I mean, there are about approximately 50, I've seen the email, there are about 50 other restaurants that are supposedly with us. I don't know about them, I'm disappointed. Because guess what? Where are we? What kind of country do we live in if we are now separating people based on a vaccine? I'm walking down. It's unbelievable. And you know, whoever made the poster, I saw it's Asian, whoever made a little poster that said essential, and now there's endable. Absolutely not. Nurses have cared for us. Police officers have protected us. Firefighters have protected us. What happened to everybody? We are humans, and unfortunately, people don't see us this way if they are separating us based on a vaccine. I just want to say that everybody out here, everybody that's here today, everybody that's not here today, I know that there are more people with us. I know that they really believe this is wrong. I know that most people I speak to do not believe in the vaccine mandates. They do not. That's why we're here, and I think this is the greatest awakening that's ever happened to New York, to the country, to the world. Unfortunately, it's scary because this is global. This is not just happening in New York City, this is happening everywhere. And you know what? Somebody said before, one of the speakers said they knew before what they were going to do. We're 10 steps behind. We have to understand that we cannot comply. We cannot give up our freedom.
workers. Rich girl.
Everybody, currently doing some sanitation work out on Eat Without Pay. I'm not speaking on behalf of the system. I'm speaking as myself, as a father, as an American, as a freedom fighter. I've been protesting with you guys since September. It's come to us. It's been affecting us since the first. I've been out with you guys because I knew they were coming for the rest of us, and they're going to come for everybody else. You listen to the government officials, Biden, Hope, I don't even say governor. We're going to vaccinate every American. We're going to vaccinate every New Yorker. And as you can see, they're doing it methodically. People need to wake up. No child is going to be safe. It's already on the table. Thank God they put the stay on it yesterday with Biden statement. We got to hope that stays. That doesn't stay. What's going to stop it? It's right there on the table. Ask them why they're doing this. Are they doing it because they believe in the mandate? Because I know a lot of people people can create laws. I've been looking into it. We've been petitioning the courts, and that's good enough. But I believe when this elderly woman the other day, last week, when I was at the rally where this time the governor, Mayor-elect Adams came out on us. She was saying we got to petition the government. Right? She has a huge thing on it. We have to gather signatures. Not changing that org. Not looking to change that org. They just bring attention to that. I'm saying we don't need attention. We need signatures. I understand petition our elected officials. I don't know if I have any knowledge on this, but I believe that's something that we have to do. We have to get together, gather, write up a petition, present it to our people. Whether COVID mandate, any mandate, whatever we feel, we come together and we put it on as a bill. The same way these elected officials are introducing bills, we the people, our First Amendment right, we can petition the government. We need to draft our own bill from the people and hold our elected officials. As far as these mandates, they're ridiculous. I signed them. I'm against the mandates across the board. And these unions from Hampshire, the unions saw this out, especially my union, Local 831. Most important, as you see, I'm a DSY worker. Once again, I'm most important. We had a huge argument with our union. We work outdoors. Sanitation workers work outdoors. So I can dine outdoors with my children, no problem, without a vaccine. But me and my fellow brothers and sisters cannot go to work without a vaccine. It's crazy. That's when you know there is no science involved. This is all about control. And if you let the government control you, they will. Just like I teach my kids, if you let a bully you, that bully will. The government is bullying the people. And for all you people that allow them, they will not let up. You need to stand up. I'm here standing with my children, showing them firsthand how you stand up to a bully. De Blasio, you're a bully. You're not getting my kids. FYI, I pulled my kids out of DOE as well. They're in homeschool. I did that 3 weeks ago. I'm not waiting for the mandate. I drive my daughter every day to school in the morning to her school that she would have been going to, so just so she gets out to her friends. Every morning, 7 o'clock, I get up. She gets out to school with her friends. And she comes home with her to her friends. There are online schools that you can enroll your kids in. I know the homeschooling process seems difficult. It can be a do. I go homeschooling with Michigan. They make it seem like I was not one of them eligible. But he does not represent, he wasn't elected by the people. And that's why, once again, I believe strongly we need to come together as a people and hold these officials accountable. Once again, freedom of choice is our freedom. Government is not our health proxy. Government is not our health proxy. We make our own decisions. And once again, freedom of choice. This is America. People have choices. If you want the government to run your health, no problem. Sign up. Go ahead. But that's the thing. It shouldn't be mandated. It shouldn't be law. It shouldn't be the norm. It's as simple as that. Our kids will not be getting a mandate. I don't care. You divide this all up. And that's it. Just keep the fight. Keep my hope in mind. Like I said, I'm not people not paying. Kids are worried, but they don't know. This is still America. This is still America. It's a land of opportunity. Like John said, be resourceful. I'm not worried. At the end of the day, it's just a job. I would like to say that the reason why has allowed me to be a full-time worker, stay-at-home dad. I was able to work overnight, midnight take. My kids didn't know I had a job until they were old enough to kind of know, like, hey, Dad, where you going at night? Because when they came home in the morning, I was up with them. I raised my kids. I don't have full custody of them. My wife split. I've been fighting in the court system as well as a father. I'm fighting that other family court system. That's another system that we need to change as parents. Okay, that's another one. And hopefully this just starts. So I hope this is tip the domino. I hope this is tip the domino for people to realize we the people need to make a change. Thank you.
I'm going to touch on something that was just said. How many people wake up in the morning and say, I love my job so much that I would die for it? I love my job so much, I would get congestive heart failure for it. You gotta really love your job and be living out your passion, let me tell you. I know, and again, I have the police right in front of me. How many police officers are like, can't wait for people to throw cans at me today and tell me I'm the worst person in the world? So now I'm gonna go get congestive heart failure. That is the point. You better really love your job to take a risk like that. One other thing I have to touch on. He said, you can come lock me up when I'm taking the shot. So I'm going to quote Conor McGregor. You're locked up for me nothing, man. All right, our next speaker, Sophie Medina. Sophie is the devoted mother of two. She was born and raised right here in New York City, and she is a Marine veteran. Come on down.
You gotta show up. No one is coming to save us. No excuses. Good afternoon, my fellow freedom fighters. My name is Sophie Medina, and I'm here on behalf of Bravest for Choice to take part in this rally today as we continue this fight for medical choice and freedom together. Thank you all for being here. You know, at one point during this pandemic, we were labeled frontline workers and essential. These were labels that we never asked for. These were labels that even felt a little weird and fake to me. I think it's pretty essential to be able to work in order to pay your bills and feed your family. Essential is the same weird feeling when people say, oh, you're heroes. It makes most of us inwardly groan. But we smile graciously because we understand that we do a job that many can't do. We do a job that many won't do. We do things that require intestinal fortitude. And we do it despite our fears. We do it in the face of fear and uncertainty. We do it because in times of need, people turn to us for a sense. People turn to us for a sense of direction and leadership. We cannot be panicked, and so we continue to respond through the chaos. That same intestinal We know these are uncertain times for us. We've been essentially tossed out like yesterday's news. Thank you for your service. Now give up your right to bodily autonomy. That's what we're being threatened with today. Bands off our bodies is the tagline that Mayor de Blasio has used when addressing medical choice and privacy between a patient and their doctor when it comes to a woman's right to choose. He said, and I quote, "In New York City, we know that abortion is healthy. We know that medical decisions should only be made between a person and their doctor. We know that reproductive rights are human rights. We will always uphold the right to choose. SCOTUS needs to do the same. Hashtag bands off our bodies." Ironic, right? Because that's exactly what we're demanding as well. And so we don't give up and we don't give in. Do not feel defeated. I implore you to look around you today and see that you are not alone in this fight. All of us essential workers have joined here today in solidarity against this unjust mandate. We were good enough to risk our lives during the worst of this pandemic, and now we just want to continue to work the way we have this whole time. We are still essential and we are not expendable. Thank you very much. I also wanted to touch on what my brother in sanitation said about homeschooling. My significant other and I, he's also a firefighter and he's on leave without pay, involuntarily of course. We had our children 8 years ago and we chose to have them at home because we started to learn things as I was pregnant and my awakening grew and his awakening grew. The system isn't broken. All of the systems are broken and they are made that way to keep us separate, to keep us fearful, to keep us sick, and to keep us dependent. Pull your kids out of school. This is not going away. This is only going to get worse before it gets better, and there's no one coming to save us but each other. Make your communities, because we are all we have. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
So what we keep hearing, and this is what we have to get through, is this system is wildly broke. This system is wildly corrupt. So when you say pull your kids out of school, don't die for the job you don't want. Be resourceful. We were taught never to go and stand up and make noise our whole lives. We were taught you need the system. But again, you don't. You don't. And it's a really weird feeling, because you've been indoctrinated since you came out of the womb, that you need this system. The system needs us, and that's why they pull the puppet strings. Not in the least. All right, next speaker, Father Fidelis. Fidelis Masinski. He's a Catholic Franciscan priest who lives and works here in New York. Come on, baby.
As I was standing there, I saw the sign. It is under video surveillance by Pfizer. I certainly hope so. Because they have to hear everything that's been said here today. So, as I said, my name is Father Fidelis Mashinsky. Priest, member of the Franciscan Friars of New York. I want to speak to you today as a priest in the name of Jesus, with the authority of Jesus Christ, because he is the way, the truth, and the life. And every knee shall bend to him in heaven and on earth. I want to begin by saying there is no place that I would rather be today than here with you. And I want to emphasize that must be voluntary. The Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, Office of the Vatican, as responsible for providing authoritative judgments about faith and morals, they issued a document on the morality of the obligation, and that therefore it must be voluntary. We all know what voluntary means. Freely chosen, not coerced, not mandated. Now the reason that vaccines cannot be mandated is that our lives, our bodies, are not owned by the state. Nor are they owned by your employer. Almighty God has entrusted our lives, our bodies, our health to ourselves. He's given us the gift of life. He's given us bodily autonomy, and he calls us to be good stewards of that gift. And it is by using our God-given conscience that we decide what's best for our health. This is not negotiable. Now, as you know, the bodies of these children, their cells, their cell lines, do not belong to you, Pfizer. They don't belong to you, Moderna, or you, Johnson & Johnson. They belong to God. And they deserve respect and a proper burial. The very thought of having some mysterious serum injected into my body that's morally tainted by abortion, that thought is repugnant to me. And I don't, that doesn't matter. Now this has a sure judgment. I'm aware, yes, there are some people in the church who say it is morally permissible. There are some people in the church who say it's morally permissible to be injected. Personally, I find their arguments incoherent and weak. They rightly affirm that all of us must object to the immoral way these vaccines were created. Okay. But how can we effectively object to this evil vaccine while at the very same time we're rolling up our sleeves and getting injected? It doesn't make any sense. You see my point? So if your conscience tells you to reject this vaccine, and I want you to know for certain you stand on very firm ground. The Catholic Church upholds the rights of conscience. No one can force you to go against what you know is right. This is what religious freedom means.
When you're sleeping. Oh, Stu.
It's both a natural right, and last I checked, it's still guaranteed by the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. So Governor Hochul has no legal or moral right to mandate the vaccine. The Brandon administration has no right to mandate the vaccine. So let us continue to resist them. Let us continue to defend our rights. Let us never stop fighting for our freedoms. May God bless you all. Viva Cristo Rey.
About, and somebody just asked me, I don't understand what my obsession with garbage trucks is. And we have something like we're in trash trucks, like, what is happening? So, what my obsession with garbage trucks is at this current time is you can't stop cop cars, you can't stop fire trucks. The only way to support the city workers is to stop sanitation trucks, and they themselves are working safe. Does anyone know what that means? Nice and slow and easy so you don't hurt yourself. So I'll give you the reason why this is important so everyone understands. Civil disobedience doesn't have to be crazy. Sometimes it's letting trash pile in the streets, and then the mayor, who's wildly incompetent, has to send every dump truck to Staten Island across the entire city so they can try to catch up and swim out of the garbage. Overtime. This is stressing them. When we left and we went mobile, the Staten Island Advance lied and said we were going to shut the bridge down. We were trying to find a Bronx truck to double park in front of it. They dispatched helicopters, multiple units, multiple precincts, New York State troopers, and dump trucks to barricade the bridge themselves. There was literally a small business owner, an out-of-work nurse, an out-of-work X-ray technology standing there, and we got swarmed by all of these units, helicopters.
That's good because it's going to take everybody. It's going to take everybody. And what we like to show is we have some of the most diverse crowds that you'll see across the country. And it's something to be proud of. This is something to be proud of. It's not people who shouldn't be proud of themselves, the people in this building right now. Pfizer headquarters. This is ground zero basically for what's going on. Looking at our kids now. This is something that I've been warning about since last year when I applied the mandates against the city and the state and said they eventually will come for all of us. They will eventually come for our kids. Well, they're here now. We are currently at the point when they have come for our children. So, if you wanted to say, I'll go get the shot for myself to protect my family and feed them, I get it. That's perfectly acceptable. A lot of us have gotten the shot. It's okay as long as those people still fight with us. Never shame anybody for wearing a mask. Never shame anybody if they got the shot. They may be the most important piece to all of this. Because when they understand and whatever they had to do, whether they're compromised in a way, or they had to get a shot, their family keep their heat on, they still recognize that this is wrong, there is the mandates, then we need to stand in solidarity with them. Do not shame anybody. We need everybody to fight against this. And there are plenty of people that say that they got it, but they understand they are not anti-vax, they are anti-mandate. Everybody stand together. Everybody. Because if we don't, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care about our religion. They don't care about the color of our skin. They don't care about our age. They will come for all of us. So if we don't stand together, we can't do it. And I know a lot of people say they feel like they're not doing enough. I promise you, if just you resisting any of this in any way, it is enough. There will be time that you can do more. I don't expect everybody to do what John and I do, block trucks and go get arrested. If you want to do that, come meet us. You can stand with us and do it. But if that's not what you're about, it's completely fine. Whether it's sharing an Instagram message, whether it's just talking to somebody and spreading information, there are still a lot of people that have no idea what we're doing. They say, just go get the shot and this can all be over. We know that that is the furthest thing from the truth. We went from 2 weeks to slow the spread and just put your mask on to now 3 shots or you can't feed your family. This is never going to end unless we do it and stop it now. And unless we come together and everybody fights this head on, this won't stop. So I tell you, just the smallest thing, talking to someone, spreading information, coming to a day like today, getting arrested, blocking garbage trucks like John and I do, whatever it is, just do something. I promise you it's enough. And this is our new family. Take a look around. I know we've all lost friends and family. This is our new family. Right? Keep going, guys. You can't beat the ones that don't give up. And I promise you that I'm never going to give up. And they're coming for the most important ones in all of this, our kids right now. Stand tall,
Choir, and I work with New York Freedom Rally. And how many people know what's happening on next Saturday, November 20th? Okay, great. Well, that's not enough hands still raised. We need everybody to come. Next Saturday is the 5th Worldwide Freedom Rally. That's what started all of these rallies, and this is the 5th one. The last one had over 180 cities around the world. And embarrassingly, New York has never gotten the kind of numbers that London and Paris and Berlin has gotten, and even Melbourne, for God's sake. So we're asking all New Yorkers to please come out, because on the one hand, you know, what's the numbers? But it's a kind of a numbers game because it shows them that we are strong, that we're here, and there's a large group of people who have a voice because we're cut out of the voice in the mainstream media. So our numbers actually do count when we come out. And so we're hoping to have thousands. So the agenda that we have lined up is going to be a long day. It's going to be a big rally. And we're going to start at Central Park West, and that will be, it starts at noon. From noon to 1:30, we are going to have music and some other festivities we're still working on. But that's going to be all along Central Park West. And the entrance point, on some of our posters, it said the entrance point was 61st. It is going to be 65th Street. So you come in, I guess, off of Broadway and 65th. So we'll be saying all that. So just telling the crowd right now, 65th is the entrance on Central Park West. We've got some great speakers lined up. We have Mark Crispin Miller, our normal favorites, Kevin Jenkins and Trisha Lindsay. And we're having another speaker who has not really spoken to in a public rally ever. She may not be everybody's favorite, but she's very well known, and she's definitely on our side, and that's Naomi Wolf is going to address the crowd. And then we're really proud to have a lot of up-and-coming leaders, excellent local leaders who are going to be speaking. John Matlin is going to speak, Mo Oliver, Tremel Thompson. So we've got some really great speakers. Jackie Martinez, the female firefighter. So we're really excited about local speakers. And then we're going to have a real kick-ass march. I was talking to a guy the other day, and he says, oh, all those long talks and speakers. I'm like, who talk long? Nobody talks. Just the mere speaking. Next Saturday, we're going to march. It's going to be a big march. We are marching over an hour and a half from Central Park West all the way through town down to Foley Square. So for people who like to march, you're going to get your march. And then we're doing something very different that has not been done, certainly not in New York. I don't even know about the country, because so goes New York, so goes the rest of the United States. So we really are the white-hot center of what is happening in America right now. So we got to show up, and what we're going to end it up with is
Our next speaker, Paul Schweik. Paul is a dedicated father and husband. He is one of the founders.
The little animals, and it brought me back. So one thing I wanted, my point to be made today is every morning when you wake up, you have to figure out what your why is. Why get out of bed? Why start your day? Why have any passion at all in anything that you do? My why is my son. My son is 5 months old. He brought a why to my life. Everybody needs a why. You have to figure out what that is. It has to be bigger and bolder than anything else in your life. It has to give you the fire you need to get through the day. Because I'll tell you what, everybody knows that this life is very, very difficult. It will take everything from you if you choose not to stand. It is very hard just to stand. But look at us all here today. This is all it takes. Showing up, turning out, and just standing. Figure out what your why is every day. Make it bigger and bolder than anything that's trying to beat you down. The emotions in this world will take over you and try and bring you to your lowest point. That's here today. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for staying in this fight. There's so many of us. Nurses, firefighters, cops, teachers, sanitation. I mean, the list goes on and on. We're fighting for our jobs and our livelihood, but the fight is way bigger than that. The fight is about your freedoms, your freedom to choose, and more importantly, my why for my child. The children are the future, and we need to protect it. And once again, thank you. And don't forget your why. Have purpose and keep on turning out. Keep on standing with each other. Thank you.
He's got such a better why than me. My why is because I say no. And everyone asks me, how do you stay positive as the world is on fire around you, or you're in the shadows? I was like, I am a beacon of light, and I will put all the fire as I walk through with a smile. I keep saying, no, no. Father Fidelis, all right, we want you to lead us in prayer before we head out. And then we're going to march.
He's going to give us a scooter escort. So I'm going to get up over there with the banner. If anyone wants to help carry the banner, they're welcome to. But we're going to march on the sidewalk to Hudson Yards. It's maybe 20 to 40 minutes to get there. And then we have more wonderful talks there and some music. So get behind me over here. All right, thank you.
They chose that.